Greetings, everyone. Yaga.
Yo.
Okay, the two hosts, we have to share the one mic today.
Sim, shush, no.
Right, so us two hosts, we have to share today.
In and out like this.
The reason why, shut up. The reason why is because we have a special guest today, Miss Janelle. Big up yourself.
Big up
Thank
Janelle.
you for coming down to be our special guest to discuss relationships topic part 2.
Part 2,
and sex, baby. We talking about sex, baby.
And fathers who are not there for their children, and mothers who stop the fathers from seeing their children.
A lot to discuss.
A lot of mix up.
A lot of mix up. But before we go into anything, Janelle, just tell our audience just a bit about you.
I'm Janelle, aka Lady Nell. I do my own podcast called 21 Questions of Lady Nell. I do other things like the debate, and I write, and I'm just very a controversial person in a nutshell, basically. So yeah, but I'm excited to be here. I love talking to you guys, and pro blackness. That's all I'm about. So yeah.
So the truth is that we had recorded this before, and unfortunately, through technical problems, we have to now re-record.
Yes.
When we had Janelle on before,
she had some views, guys.
She has some views.
Apparently, I was seeing a lot of smoke, according to Eddie. So yeah.
Mike was on fire.
Literally.
And we was talking a lot about that subject. The smoke that was coming from you was all about the co-parenting.
Yes.
And not letting your child see his dad.
Yeah.
And then there were some of us that were against it. And then now you're saying that your views changed.
So my views
give
have
us
changed.
a bit
360, man.
Yeah.
So I've done a 360.
The D's good. Change their mind.
Don't kill me. No, so basically... So basically, actually, I wasn't against I was against. What I wanted to do was take away his parental rights.
That's you being against it.
No, it wasn't against. There was reasons why, though. It wasn't just because I was
talk
being
to
a
us
bitch.
about the reasons.
Because he weren't pulling his weight and he wasn't being a good pooper. That's the reason why.
Right.
And if you keep messing up my picnic and you keep making my child feel a certain type of way, then that's why I had that viewpoint.
That's so wild, though. That's so wild.
Right. So I just wanted to say,
Why is it
do
wild?
you
It's
know?
Wait.
How many men in their 50s and 60s have a change of heart and then want to go and reconnect with the child?
Yeah,
but
but this is
taking away parental rights.
Yeah, I know, but of course, obviously, it's changed now. So now I'm very much like...
I'm just letting the public know what my views were.
Because they didn't see the light.
They didn't see it, so I need to let them know.
I think we do talk about, when the one parent has been inconsistent with the child in and out of the life, not pulling their weight, it does have an effect on the child.
This is why I want to do it. Yeah.
Also, sis, stopping that man from seeing the child is also a massive effect on the child.
I know, but as I was saying prior, isn't it better to stop instead of inconsistency that will cause more damage?
I agree.
So that's what I said.
I agree with that.
Stop it.
I agree with that.
I say no.
Think about this. Let's talk about it. Let's talk. There's various different forms of abuse, right?
Right.
There's emotional abuse, there's physical abuse, sexual abuse, etc. Right? If you keep promising this child you're going to pick him up, you're going to pick him up, you're going to pick him up, and you don't do it, that's a form of emotional abuse.
Exactly.
I agree. In those situations, you should tell the father, listen, you're causing more harm than good at the moment.
Do you understand?
When you want to be consistent,
then yes,
come back and we'll try again.
And this is basically, that's literally what happened. That's literally what happened.
But
so.
I'm not saying you should do something as drastic as taking away someone's parental right. That person is still that child's father.
Which I understand.
Yeah. So in those situations, I agree 100% with Janelle. Like the father should step to one side and sort out his shit, stop bringing your trauma or whatever and causing my child trauma. When you figured it out and we've got a schedule or whatever, come back in
that makes sense.
And we'll do it.
Which is literally what happened.
No,
that's literally what happened.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
But the thing is, actually, no. It's fine.
No,
what I was gonna say is, I feel like where I do side with Janelle is, it is a form of abuse, and at the end of the day, what if the dad isn't willing to step back? And if you have that fight, that can be a very awkward and terrible situation for the mother. And not saying to go ahead with terminating the parental rights, but at the same time, we can't just not act like there's a situation going on and
there's other things that can be done though. Yeah. You can go and seek an order from a judge. Saying that he hasn't got any visitation rights or anything like that. There's other things that can be done, but something as drastic because you're no longer this person's dad. You know what I'm saying? I don't agree with that.
Yeah. Obviously I've done a 360 now.
I was going to say, so what's made you do a 360?
Like literally that scenario is we just spoke and he just stepped up and he just patting himself. And I'm a very person of credit where credit is due, so I literally messaged him the 1st of January and I was like, you've actually improved, like well done, like thank you for being more consistent. And the rest of it,
that period been?
It's been for a good few months now, so like for me it's like, even that I know he's trying, so at least I can see it. He's not perfect, but at least I know that like there's been times that I've like needed him, and he's actually come through for me, with no argument, no issue, just did it.
This is the thing that we spoke about on the previous podcast, that for me, for a father to have to be told that you have a son and you should be doing this, you should be doing that. To me, there's an issue.
Yeah, but this is why I was having that battle with him. Because I shouldn't have to tell you this.
Yeah.
But it's come to a point where like I don't have to say it anymore. Like he was just like, even Christmas, he was at his dad's house for like nearly 5 days, which he's never done ever. My son's only 8. So it's like, but again, that wasn't me telling him to do that. He was like, do you know what? Let me just take him. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, but again, that's taken 8 years.
I think,
but that's taken 8 years to get to that point.
But I think
do you understand?
This is what we're saying on the last thing. For any time we're acting out of character or acting out from the norm, we were saying in the previous podcast that everybody should seek therapy because something's not right there. Like I've never understood how not your baby mama, I'm just saying in general, I've not understood it. And the same thing that we're coming back to now, I've also not understood why mum stopped the father from saying something's not right. Something's not right where you think that's the right thing to do, or you have that type of energy for 8 years, 5 years to keep consistently stopping. And do you know another thing that I found? Sorry, last thing. Do you know another thing I found? I find that fathers that are shit fathers, the mums want that relationship to happen, but fathers that are trying to be good fathers,
they don't want it.
They seem to be blocked all the time.
Oh my God. No,
it's just a mad thing. The less you care about your child, the better baby mum that you have that wants to push the child onto you. It's weird.
I agree with you
because I feel just the logic behind getting into relationships has completely changed. So like in the sense of where we're coming together and we're going to create a family. But for whatever reason, for the female, it could be more of a thing of, all right, but it's us, and you can't leave this. And as soon as you leave this,
that's when
you've now broken up the whole family. And now you're the villain.
You're going to suffer now.
Do you see what I'm saying?
You're going to suffer now.
I completely agree with that, because I feel like, for me, obviously I've done the 360. One, because he improved, and I'm very much a person like, your action speaks louder than words. I've always said that, you know, like, the real, like, words are like monopoly money, but what's it called? Your action is the real currency. That's what I want to see. So he's improved. So for me, I'm like, if I was wrong for saying that, and I'm a person that holds accountability for the shit that I say and do. So I can hold accountability. Like, maybe I should have just allowed it more, but obviously when I said what I said, it was due to frustrations of inconsistency for like 7 years.
To keep chasing someone to be a father.
Does that make sense? I got to a point and I was like, do you know what? Fuck you, I can't be asked for this anymore.
And that's understandable.
Do you understand? It was like 7 years.
Don't get me wrong. Like I said, it is understandable. It's just that whole thing about parental rights that's a bit extreme, because there's other things that you can do. You know what I'm saying?
And also, what's changed?
So obviously, man's got a boot now. No, that's what it is. I think being in a relationship with someone that also has a child and seeing his drama with his baby mum and stuff has literally opened my eyes to like how wicked some baby mums can be. And I've seen, and like you said, like sometimes the man gets, I mean him spoken about this a lot, like he would say to me like, I get blamed for what I've done, but no one sees what the woman has done for me to react in this way, because it's always like the woman is kind of chosen above the man. Like, we see it all the time, but for me, I think just being in that situation and being with someone that I genuinely do care about and seeing that person hurt because of the situation, it opens your eyes to see, one, how much women really have the power, two, perceptions amongst other people, because no one really knows what happens, and then three, is the like turning a blind eye when a man is crying out for their child. Definitely. So for me, it's like I've seen it from like a perspective of a person myself that's like wanted like the father to be more involved in the rest of it, and then obviously seeing a woman that's like this man is screaming to be more involved, but you're not allowing it. So it's like if we swapped positions, when you actually realize like he's actually doing a lot, maybe you'll appreciate it more, because there's some people that don't appreciate things because they've never been in that situation. That's right. So does that make sense? So it's like, for me, I've not obviously been in this, well, kind of, but like I've been able to see both sides of the coin.
And that always helps, I think.
Yeah, so that's, and I feel like, for example, you've just done a 360 with your thoughts towards your baby father, and I feel like it's important to realize that these switches can happen in relationships, and if what we spoke about in the first episode is when a man wants to decide what he wants to do for the future of the relationship, or make sure that he's kind of covered from these kind of situations from arising. When he tries to put certain things in place, he's then ridiculed or villainized for doing so. And I just don't, this is a weird concept for me to kind of get my head around, because like, for example, people change, and for a man to put certain procedures in order, or a certain maybe contractual agreement in order, so that certain things can't happen once children are entered into the picture, all that kind of stuff, which is why maybe in this country marriage might not catch me, but in another country where the laws are slightly different, it might catch me.
No, I definitely agree with you in that one.
Do you know, it's a good thing to move on to what is love then?
Oh, that's a beautiful thing.
I think from when you have, I don't know about anybody else, but for me, from when you have your first child, I think that really gave me a full understanding of what love actually really is, rather than what I might have thought it was.
But there's different types of love, though. That's another thing as well.
Yeah, but let's talk about boyfriend and girlfriend, husband and wife. What is it? For me,
I think love. I think in a relationship, love cannot only exist by itself. I think love is a beautiful component of a relationship, but love isn't enough to carry a relationship. For me, it's other things like respect, kindness, accountability, and the rest of it that actually makes a relationship. And for me, I can only, obviously I'm still young, so I'm sure I've got loads of life experience. Maybe if we have this conversation in when like 5-10 young years, I might have a completely different perspective of what love actually is. But from what I've seen, what I've experienced, for me, love is doing, like the second commandment of the Bible is treating the other person as you would want to be treated. Right. For me, that is what love is. If I'm going to do something for you, I would expect that you will do it in return without, like, what's it called? Oh, I forgot what it's called now. You know, like people's got like unconditional love and there's conditional. Like, I believe that relationship is conditioned love. And like your child's love is unconditional love, or your parents is unconditional love. For me, like, a love into a relationship is conditioned. So like if you do A, B, C, D, F, G, then we're always going to be in love and we're going to be fine. But if you take those elements out, that's when it becomes an issue. That's when love is shaky. This is just a crazy question. You would die for your children, right? Yeah, but I would never die for a husband. Right. Facts. But it's conditional. It's conditional. But I don't think he would die for me either.
That's a question. So would you want your husband to die for you?
No, I wouldn't. Do you know why? I'm not, how my perspective is very much like, I'm not, okay, I'm your wife.
Let me change my question then. If you saw another couple,
yes,
would you want the man to jump in front of the bullet for the wife?
No.
Okay.
That's what it is. Okay, this is what I'm saying.
That's the difference between real love, you would die for your husband.
Yeah.
Like, you had to jump in front of her, but that's what I'm saying. That's why there's love where
again,
it's
that's what I'm saying, but it's conditional. Like, my love is conditional. And when it comes to relationship, I will die for my child. Because that's my DNA.
So the bullet will come in and you'll be like, yeah, boy, that's you.
No. I'm just being real. I'm being so honest.
No, but that's good. That's what I'm saying. What we want,
do that, though,
what we want, is honesty.
I'm being honest.
But I'm telling you, real love,
would you die for your partner now?
100%.
No, we're not there yet.
Well, this is my point.
Look, I'm saying that, but I'm honest enough. We're fresh. I'm saying real love, like my daughter's mum, 100%. We was together for years, over 10 years. That's real love. Whatever, she'd probably do the same for me as well, or would have. So that's what I'm saying. Real people got this love thing. I love you, love me. It's not. So half of it is bullshit. It's not even that real. Like, it's just.
No, I get that, but again, I'm still young.
Real love. You know what I'm trying to say?
I'm still young.
You know what I'm trying to say?
No, I think for me, it's weird. So for me, love is. If we're in a relationship, love has to be the center of every action that you do towards me. So that's my thing. So love has to be a thought process towards what you're doing.
Let me rephrase Chris's question then. Not so much a case of jumping in front of bullets or anything extreme like
it's
that.
It's not though. I don't
Let me land. Your current partner needed a kidney.
Oh, 100% I'll do that. That's not an issue.
And there's a potential that things can go wrong or whatever.
But you're not like
that I would do though.
You wouldn't die from giving a kidney.
You don't know.
A friend of mine's done it.
You could though.
Things could go wrong. I mean, they're pretty standard procedure, but things can go wrong.
But I would do that though.
Like, I wouldn't give just anyone my kidney. You know what I'm saying?
Neither.
Yeah. I would give him my kidney, 100%.
Okay.
What if the chances were 50-50 though?
That's a bit too much.
Okay, so what if the chances were 50-50 of you giving a kidney and you could pass away and you wouldn't see us?
I would still do it. Honestly, honest to God. I'm quite honest. I'm quite honest.
If you don't shoot you in the head, there's a chance of you surviving.
Yeah, but
I'll jump in front of a bullet for my missus.
Again, but you've been together for so long. But sometimes I'm only doing it from what I've been with and
what's the difference between a bullet and
what's
giving a kidney?
Though is that you the thing that's
I'm not
mad
gonna
though.
be like, I'm not gonna do that. It's a bit more
what's mad?
I just said to you, I'll change.
When it comes to love, I go deep, bro. If it's real love, that's what we're doing.
So
what's mad though is that you'll jump in front of that bullet, die, and then within a year, 2 years, the things moved on.
And you don't think that mad?
Because life moves on,
I can't do that.
That's what's mad, but
that's mad.
Okay, but
that's the reality.
Bring it back to what I was saying about love is in every action. Sorry, Sim. Bring it back to love being in every action. I'm sorry, but the fact that I'm been with my partner for 18 months or just past. If we get into a situation where we could be arguing on road and someone pulls out, give me your and tries to shoot, I'm doing that and jumping. Wherever we were in that place, we might not have been in a great place or whatever, but I guarantee you, if I die from that situation, she ain't forgetting me. You mad?
No, I agree with
She won't forget you, but she'll move on. She won't forget you.
She won't forget you, but she'll move on.
But bro, if you die from I don't knock on wood. If you die from a heart attack,
she'll move on.
Right, but that's not her saying. Do you see what I'm trying to say? It's the same thing.
But that's still conditional.
Yeah, but she's not the same thing. She's not gonna forget you. But she's
on.
Nothing.
It's just a piss take that you've jumped in front of a bullet for her and then she'll move on.
Will she be lonely? Really?
Yeah. No. She'll be with the kids. She'll have the kids.
Oh god.
She'll have the kids.
Anyway,
she won't be lonely.
No, but do explain it. So me and my partner actually spoke about something similar, and then I was like, if I was to die first, like, who would you want to die first in this relationship? He was like, I would want to die because I couldn't imagine myself living without you. But I'm like,
after 6 months, he said that.
He said that,
yeah. He's dropping them lines, isn't it, man? You gotta get him on this podcast, man. He's dropping them lines, man. That's a smooth one.
Alright, so Jermaine,
that's a smooth line, that one.
But I just didn't like it. I hate arguing with him. That's how I know.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying 6 months in, that's too soon to be making a decision.
I hate answer.
It's still fresh. It should.
It's very fresh.
I said that though. I said, talk to me in like 5 years.
It's like Jermaine said. I don't know if it was off camera or on camera, but Like, you don't really know someone until you've gone through stuff with them.
Yeah.
And no disrespect to your relationship, but 6 months, like, have you gone through stuff yet? Do you know what I'm saying?
What sort of stuff?
I don't know, challenging situations. You know,
we said it.
But I've got a question for Jermaine as well.
Yeah,
because
go
he was
ahead.
really passionate about it. What does love mean to you?
Switch up.
What does love mean to me?
I think we should all
Do you know what? I don't believe in the
yeah.
word anymore, love. I feel like it's more of an action word. So respect is important. Honesty is important. And loyalty is important. Like, this love thing gets thrown around too much. I love you. Do you understand? Yeah. So I just feel like those are the 3 fundamental aspects of a relationship, and I feel like love grows over time. When you start realizing over time, this person is genuine. You might have gone through something. You might have lost your mum or your dad, and that person's been there with you. You might have lost your job, and that person's been there with you. You might go through depression. That is what shows if that person is the right one for you. Not the good times. The good times are easy.
Yeah, but again, like, I definitely agree with you. I mean, I'm not like, I had like several issues last year, and he was there. Like, for me, it's just like, I'm not saying that I'm on the level of your type of love yet, but it's definitely going in that direction.
Yeah, and that's good, man.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah, definitely. It will go.
Just ask me. We'll have this like conversation. Like, give me that
just-
one.
just-
I'm playing devil's advocate. You know what I'm talking about the bully.
I
I'm
know.
playing some devil's advocate.
But just to come back full circle, it's like moving at a quick speed, not 6 months, but just whatever, right? Is how we end up in situations of what we were talking about, whereby later on you're faced with someone who is, let's say, keeping the child away from you, and you're like, I never expected this person to do that, but did you actually get to know that person?
And the red flags as well.
Can I
And
say
did you
something?
see any red flags? And did you have a chance to? Did you even give yourself a chance to see any red flags?
I was thinking
Do you know
about.
what I'm saying?
I didn't know if I was going to say this or not, because I said it off camera. But yeah, I'm going to say it on camera. But yeah, red flags. Imagine someone I know. He's vegetarian. Yeah. He's vegetarian. You don't know what I'm talking about.
This on top of pisses you off.
No, bro, it pisses me off. It does, because it's facts. How are you? No, this is for the people at home as well. How are you with someone for 2 weeks and someone says to you, "Oh yeah, I'm vegetarian." Cool. You're gonna be vegetarian too, and you're like, "No." Within 2 weeks, you're vegetarian. Do you know what I mean? For me,
It's conformity, though.
Yeah, man.
My red
Yeah.
flags are deeper, man. My red flags are little lies. Like, little lies. Hiding money. These are red flags. Like, the vegan thing, I'm not really... Do you know what I mean? If a girl finds out I'm a vegan and she wants to turn vegan,
Yours is hiding money. Yours is she can't be a vegetarian. No, I'm joking. I know what you're doing, but it's the way Jermaine dropped it.
the vegan wouldn't bother me, man. I think it's a good thing that
I got bare, man.
It's not about vegan.
Wait. What's Ed's red flag? Like, what's your top 5?
But you gotta realize I've been in a relationship for time.
Before you were married.
I don't know. If you go to a party and she knows everyone and everyone's her bro or something.
Everyone's what?
Everyone's her bro.
Oh,
Red flag.
I don't like stuff like that. What else? I don't know, man. I can't remember.
What are your red flags? I'll just name one.
Oh my god.
Pick one's
You
little
got
lies.
loads. That sounds like you got loads. Why do you think like that?
I'm not even in the thought process of that. I can't think. Lies. I just don't like lies.
Same. Honesty is everything.
Yeah.
Hiding money, yeah?
Why go under the mattress, yeah?
I don't know. Like,
You don't mind...
I've not been in that situation.
Can I ask you guys like
I've
a
not thought about that. Like,
I hate
we're
you.
in this hiding money. Like, your money is your money, my money. Well, I've not been in.
Yeah.
The way they talk to their parents. The way they talk to if you go to a restaurant and if they are rude to the waiter, it's like, that's a red flag for me. Do you know what I'm saying? It's
I hate that.
Why
I hate
doing
that.
stuff
Looking
like that?
down on people.
They
I
might
hate
be
that.
so nice to you, but it's about how they treat other people as well.
Facts,
Do you know what I'm saying?
facts.
Because then, when she hates you, you can't then look back and say,
No, you're right, man.
like, I can't believe she's doing this to me now. No, but you saw how she treated other people, but you chose to ignore that
That's
because
right.
she treated
I
you
think
well.
as well. And
Sorry, I'm looking at you.
Really, not doing it.
I think another
100%.
I think another big red flag for me as well is just how the person is, and in terms of, I guess, kind of like what you lot said anyway already, but if their personality just keeps changing, like over time, it could be 3 months, 6 months, and a year later, you're like, all this, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think just be true to who you are, how you show up in your day-to-day life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sticking with that. And yeah, I don't know. I've not, do you know what? I've been single for quite some time, so I haven't thought about this.
No, I get that.
Thinking,
yeah. I've got a question though.
When I get with that guy, he's got to be. I'm not looking.
Oh, yeah.
She ain't looking. She ain't
But
looking.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've just not thought about it.
I get that. I've got a question for everyone though, like a serious question.
Go on.
Do you feel like relationships have evolved into something that is unrecognizable? Because we were speaking about this off camera, about like how some women are very emotionless and some people are too emotional. Do you feel like back in the day, the structure of a relationship where the man went out and provided and the woman stayed home and nurtured the kids, do you think that was a better example of what a relationship should have been in terms of the structure? Or do you feel like this new age of like, we both work, you do this, I do this, and the rest, like, what do you prefer? Like, do you feel like it's affected us?
I'll take this one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let the married man do it.
Nah, do you know what? I prefer it now. Not with these waist girls, but like real women, yeah?
Yeah.
In terms of...
What do you mean when you prefer it now, though?
Like a balanced relationship where both parties go out, earn a living, etc. Both come home. I think naturally women, because they're more... what's the word that I'm looking for? Naturally, the woman will always kind of take care of their household because
women are the nurturers.
they're the nurturers and so forth. However, I do believe that as a man, you should chip in as well. It shouldn't be down to coming home after a hard day's work, but she's just come home after a hard day's work as well and demanding, where's my food and stuff like that. I think that's very old school. I think, you see she's tired, particularly tired today, you chip in, you make the food today, or you do some tidying up and stuff like that. I think that balance in this day and age, I think that's nice to have. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, like my dad, like he still needs his tie doing and he still needs his shirt ironed and it's nice and stuff, but sometimes, what about if she don't want to do it? You know what I'm saying? A man can't iron his shirt. So that to me is quite mad. I like the new age balance with two responsible adults who love each other.
And I agree as well with you, Ed, because as well it gives both parties, I guess, freedom to be who they are, live the life they want to live. I think what makes it healthy is communication, sharing your thoughts and feelings, just like how we show up and have a meeting when we're at work, just like how we have a meeting as a Black is Beautiful team. I think that's important in relationships as well. Like, how was your day? How you feeling? Do you know what I mean? And talk about whatever it is you're talking about. And I think sometimes in relationships that could be missing, in a lot of households that could be missing, even with children, because of life. We work long hours or whatever. We don't have that time. So I agree with that.
For me, it's very important. And I grew up like this. Like, it's one of those things that I've incorporated from my upbringing into the home. But we eat at the table every night. We have to. Do you know what I'm saying? Because that's where we talk. That's where we watch TV. We interact and stuff like that. It's the only time in the day when we're all together. Do you know what I'm saying? My eldest is a teenager, so if she's not here, she's upstairs on her phone or whatever. But dinner time, sit down, talk, sit down as a family and eat. Do you know what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
I love that. Yeah,
we have to catch up every, at least once a day.
Yeah, no, it's important. I was gonna say the same thing. Yeah. I think the bad thing about this modern day is that back in the day, it was the case where, like, say for example, my granddad, he was the main earner. And then my grandma would stay at home, maybe have a little part-time job. But I think in the way things are changing, some households you might need 2 incomes to be able to build what you're trying to build. Yeah. But with that, sometimes you gotta be very careful, because where you got both parents out, you might miss out things what your kids need from you, nurturing, homework, and you gotta find a balance. That's one thing that I think it is important to do that, but you have to find a balance to be able to be there to raise your kids as well.
Yeah.
In a lot of the modern households, both parents are out, some kids are coming home by themselves, there's no one to raise them, they're on the gram looking at this, looking at that.
Yeah.
It's
They're just letting them, the Instagram, the internet is raising them rather than us,
And that's affecting relationships, I think, the internet.
I completely agree with that.
The internet is crazy.
I'm gonna echo what Jermaine said, really, because it depends on what you want to build. If it's two incomes, it's two incomes. But I feel like we're in a place now where it's not about money. It's about what you want as a person, what you want to go out. Like, you've got women that want to be lawyers, and they, by all means, they are being lawyers. You know what I mean? They're not, yes, it's a very lucrative profession, but is that the main reason why they want to do it? They like law. Do you know what I mean? The same with other professions. Marine biologists, they love, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because they want to do that. It's not about the money. It's just about the world that we live in. There's so much more things that women and men can do.
No, I definitely agree with that.
So, I want to change it up a little, add a little spice and flavour into the conversation.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I just wanted to ask you all. I think everyone is in a relationship apart from me, but I just wanted to ask: is sex important
100%
in your relationship? And Janelle off camera asked, and we all started busting up. It sounded funny. It was so random. How often?
Yes, I said, how often do you feel like it's appropriate or like realistic to have sex with your partner a week? Jermaine off camera was like, weekends.
I was saying it depends on your lifestyle. Like, a lot of it does depend on what you do on a day to day. So for me personally, if I've had a hard week where I've gotten up early, gone to bed late, like, I'm tired, and I'm a man that wants to give my all when I'm having that situation with my woman. No, seriously, I don't want to go half-hearted into what I'm doing. I'd rather just give it a miss until we can go proper. But what was the question again? Is sex important? Sex is very important. Having that connection with your partner, it's a beautiful thing. Like, if it's genuine, having a genuine connection, physical connection, emotional connection, spiritual, whatever you want to call it, it's very, very important. Sex is important. We love the moment, and if the sex life isn't that good, then it is a bit of a downer, isn't it?
It depends though.
I feel
what does it depend on?
It depends, because I know there's some girls that are like, okay, the sex isn't great, but
he's paying the bills.
But he's paying.
Like,
no, don't say that. No. The sex may not be great, but they generally do love that person. But the sex isn't like the best what they've had compared to other previous relationship or other one night stands.
That is just mad to me.
See, I feel like in those relationships they don't really love that person, because what makes sex good is the love involved.
Yeah. So it's the fact that this person is with me.
Yeah. The fact that you're still even comparing to any other person is crazy, because you shouldn't even be in that moment. You shouldn't even be thinking. And if there's something that you like that's not happening, then speak.
You can work through it.
Yeah.
Because, you know what I'm saying?
Communicate about what you like and what you don't like.
But they've got it all wrong. They either don't love that person, or
they're not
communicating their wishes or whatever.
My thing isn't necessarily how much sex, it's making sure that your sex drive matches each other.
Yeah, so you did say that.
If this is the thing, you could have sex maybe 5 times a week, but it's not that great, like you just said.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, you still like you say you want to have sex and stuff. You want to have sex, but it's not. It's almost like it's mundane. It's a routine. It's like, we're having sex, but we're talking about passion. We're talking about and that is
look
where I feel like
he's getting so like.
No, but I think it's facts. I think it's facts. It's like because there's some people, they're like, sex is also like, some sex should only last 5 to 6 minutes, and then some people terrible. Like exactly. Some people think, I'm trying to do 25, 30 minutes. Like, let's like proper.
What is the average time though?
I don't know what the average time
It depends, man. Sometimes quickie, sometimes 15, 20 minutes. It depends, innit? Like, I don't like, men make like half an hour all the time. Yeah, half an hour. Bro, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be realistic.
It depends, innit? It depends on the moment. Depends on a lot of things. But average time, I don't know what the average time is for men.
If you're going more than 35, 40 minutes, that's long, bro.
It depends, bro.
It depends on the situation. It depends on the
situation, because I don't know what you lot do, but do you class it as if you stop,
like role playing,
then it stops? Do you know what I'm saying?
Do you mean by if it stops?
Say you're
ejaculated or
nah.
You know, like he's talking about. You know, like
say you're
film.
taking a day off work, right?
Yeah.
You're watching Netflix. You do it. Climaxes or whatever. You haven't, right?
Yeah.
But you take a break, you carry on watching, and then you go again. Is that one?
No, that's 2 sessions. That's 2 sessions.
That's 2 sessions.
That's 2 sessions.
I don't know. I'll tell you when it counts.
For me, it's that would be classed as something like like a marathon. Like, well, we stopped, we ate something, and then we did it again.
And then do you class foreplay in that as well? But
foreplay is part of sex, no?
Right, so that's what I'm asking. So then does that start? Is sex when you start having sex?
Yeah, when is sex ending? Isn't sex ending when you climax? That's when it's done.
Yeah, sex is when you climax. Whether it starts with foreplay or
So when you climax, that's it. You're done. That's sex. Done.
No, but sometimes I will go. But girls can.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So then, are you saying,
but that's round.
I climaxed 3 times, so we had sex 3 times?
100%.
No, that's incorrect.
No, it's not.
It is.
It is not. So if a man ejaculates once, that's 1 round. You have to build up.
That's
right. See, that's right.
I'll tell you. This is what I'm saying.
That's rounds, though.
But this is why.
But we're talking about how long should it last? When
for me, an average is like 20-25 minutes.
Okay.
Average.
And you're
25 minutes.
But that's including foreplay though.
Oh, right,
and you're saying it ends when the man ejaculates.
It ends when we both ejaculate.
Yeah. No, you're confusing me.
No, but listen.
Because
1 round could last like this, yeah? You could ejaculate. Now, or say, for example, you could ejaculate. If you say you want to continue, like, doesn't make you continue. You know, like, say, I don't want to go into much graphics, yeah? Say you ejaculate, not inside the woman, yeah? So you haven't ejaculated inside.
Doesn't matter inside, outside.
Let me make my point. Let me land. Right, so you haven't ejaculated inside the woman, so you decide to go down on her. You've ejaculated, you decide to go down on her. You continue to have sex. We're adults. We can have this conversation. You decide to go, right? You decide, yeah, exactly. That's for me. Exactly for me. That's still 1 round. Because I'm making
no, that's still
rounds. I just wanted to know.
I say 25 minutes on average. Is that not realistic for you?
Half an hour.
What is that?
Jermaine seemed triggered by that answer still.
The bills on for half an hour. You lot are doing the thing for half an hour.
So now we've discussed
half an hour.
Ed, what's you gonna say before I go on? I was gonna say something.
What are you saying?
I can't remember
I need
now,
to
man.
step up my game.
This guy you didn't pose a question to me,
Chris,
though.
what are you saying? Half an hour, bro.
Whatever question.
Ed, she's half an hour is a long time, bro.
Huh?
She said she aired on my dick for half an hour, bro.
Yeah, what's the problem?
It's including foreplay. It's including foreplay.
I'm excluding foreplay, bro. Half an hour's a long time.
No, but I'm not. I'm including foreplay in that half an hour.
What you're doing.
Because if you're going ham, then that could be a short 10.
No, it's a workout for me. Sex is a workout.
If you're doing the whole
depends what you're
building
doing
up to it, going off slow,
that's what
and then you have increments of going ham.
So, did I ask you, Ed, about?
I can't remember now.
Okay. My next question is, say for example, what's the longest, if you're in a relationship, you can go without sex, and if you went a long time without sex, does that pose a conflict or an issue in your relationship?
Yeah, I'll answer that.
If there's no communication, then it's a problem.
What's that?
If there's no communication, then it's a problem.
What's the question?
So the question is, like, I just want to know, because we talk about rounds, how often we spoke about how often
we ain't closed that one. We have to come back to that anyway.
But then it's like, okay, what if you go a long period without sex? Is that okay?
What is that before you've had sex?
No, like he said, let's say me and you're together and we've been having sex, and all of a sudden for like 2-3 months we stop having sex. Is that an issue?
Exactly. Yeah, but there must be an issue. Why have you stopped?
No, but this is what I said.
That's
a question about communication.
I thought the question.
Yeah, so a simple question, like for yourself, if, for example, sex wasn't happening, would that be an issue for you? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there must be a reason. There would be a reason.
There would probably be a reason, but could you be?
It depends.
If you mutually agreed, then, for example, to not have sex for a little while, for example, whatever the reason could be.
What would it be though?
It could be medical.
There could be so many. It could be a spiritual.
Yeah.
It could be a spiritual.
Like my friend, she's still a virgin and she's not having sex until she's married, so they're in a relationship. So
yeah, but they haven't had it yet.
When she gets there, she might cheat down.
If your partner decided to say to you, you know what, for such and such a reason, for example, it could be for spiritual health reasons or whatever, I want to have a pause with sex. Would that, obviously this is a bit personal. Everyone's situation is going to be different.
If it was for a genuine reason, I wouldn't have a problem with it, because that's rape. But if your woman doesn't want to have it, why are you forcing yourself on the woman? If she's got a genuine reason as to why she doesn't want to have it, that's fine, isn't it?
But again, you have to communicate.
I'm just asking because, some sex is really important to some people. So if, for example, the period looking at months and stuff.
No, that's fine for me.
Just masturbate, no?
I was going to say the same thing. Pornhub. That's
it. It depends because when you say months, if it's like 3 to 6 months, then yeah, of course. But I feel like when you're pushing to that 6 months to a year, I think that's when it needs to be spoken about more. Like, yeah, you've initially spoken to me about it, yeah, and I'm not going to pressure you, but when we've passed that 5...
Would you leave your girlfriend?
When we've passed that 5 to 6 month mark, that is when I'm going to probably re-enter that conversation. Depending on her reasons, we can come back, we can leave something here, leave it there, in 5 to 6 months, reevaluate. And after that reevaluation, if I'm not convinced that this relationship is going to... No, but genuinely, because this is the thing. People are too freaking scared to say these things, man. At the end of the day... seriously, I feel like people are too afraid to say these things.
Man.
No, because at the end of the day, like, if you're in a relationship and you get to 5 to 6 months in and you evaluate a situation, say for example it's a house, let's take sex out of it. Say I want to buy a house. Are you ready to buy a house? I don't think I'm ready to buy a house, but let me get my money situation together. Give me half a year. Let's reevaluate. Alright, cool. 6 months pass, let's reevaluate now. You ain't got your bag together. Well done. Alright, but I've got my bag together. Yeah. Like, I'm ready to move on with life. Am I an idiot now to say bye-bye and go on with my life? But now I've changed the situation to sex. I'm an idiot. No.
I think piggybacking off of what Chris said. Like I think if it's, unless it's a good reason, like I don't know what a good reason would be.
Yeah.
But if it's just like it's stopped, then there's an issue there that needs to be discussed in the relationship, because obviously. That's, like Jermaine said, that's how you connect. It's a connection. It's a physical connection, spiritual, whatever. So if it's just like, I don't want to do it for a few months or whatever, okay, cool.
Yeah, cool.
It's your right.
Yeah.
But why? Like, what is the reason?
And you're fair as a man to ask that question. Yeah. And you're fair as a man. And the thing is, still in society, I feel like when men ask about sex of their women, it's villainized.
It's a bit techy.
It's like, why are you, like, hold on, like, it's a switch up. Your woman will just look at you like, why are you like, at the end of the day, like, I have preferences too, just like you.
Another thing that I think in some cultures, some religions as well, is, what's your thoughts on no sex before marriage?
Do you know what's your thoughts on that?
I was in that situation a few years ago when I was actually trying not to have sex before marriage. This is like just after my son, when I was in church. Obviously, I've left church now, but during the time I was doing it, I was generally trying. Sorry,
no, I'll come back and say why I'm laughing. Yeah, something just comes to my head.
Yeah, so like I was trying not to have sex, but I was obviously struggling with it, and I feel like since leaving the church and being free to have sex, I'm just a lot happier. So I'm like, props to you. I feel like it's easier if I was a virgin and I don't know what I'm missing out on, then it's not a problem. Does that make sense?
Respect
but
the
once
honesty,
you have sex, it gets a bit techie.
Was the guy respectful? And
he was also a Christian too.
Okay, cool.
But it's like we always fell as well. Christians will say you fell. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Because for me,
but it would be an issue.
If I was single, and the girl told me, like, let's wait. and she had a son. I'll be like, you've done it already. Like, am I a mug or something?
You're moving like Kevin Samuel.
I'll be like, am I the mug that's waiting?
No, I get it though.
Okay, cool.
Well.
That's fine.
I still get it though. I still get that a woman might have said, you know what?
You're not for
this
me.
Baby came.
Like, why should I wait?
Nah, but I get it though.
I
get it. I think if a woman's made the mistake where
I
the
can be
relationship
toxic sometimes.
I'm saying if the woman made a mistake by I'm just saying in general, woman made a mistake by having a child that didn't work out. I can understand why now.
It's not even about the child. If she's done it before, why should I now wait?
But I still get it though.
I still get it as well.
I still get why a woman might meet a new man.
But like I said, I can be toxic sometimes. I can.
And just the last question, Janelle. What's your thoughts on marriage? Because we spoke about this in part 1. This was the main topic.
Yeah. I want to get married. I mean, before growing up, I didn't want to get married whatsoever. But I think after having my son, I feel like marriage is just a security blanket for me personally.
Why? What are you securing?
See?
It's a security blanket.
Don't use that, man.
No, but I'm just being honest.
You're going to diminish the argument.
Bring me up, cuz.
Go.
I'm just being completely honest. Like, for me, I haven't spoken to my partner about this. Like, for me, like, getting married is my security blanket, because for me...
With what though? What is security?
No,
sorry, go on. Let me be quiet.
So basically, I'm being 100% transparent. Like, when I went through what I went through with my son's dad and the rest of it, like, I felt very alone. I felt very, like, not PTSD, but like this whole thing of like men leaving me and stuff like that. So for me, like, marriage is a thing for like, it's security to know. Again, it's something that I need to work on. It's my issue. It's my thing. It's an insecurity thing that I had, that you're going to leave. So in my head, marriage is a security blanket, in the sense of like, if you marry me, I'm not saying that we're not going to get divorced, but there's a piece of paper to say that you've made a commitment to me, if that makes sense. So for me, even if you was to leave me, there's consequences to doing that. Does that make sense? So then I'm just keeping it so much.
Consequences, I'm trying to chill, but that's mad.
In a way,
you haven't let her finish yet.
Wait. That bit. It's just a question following on from what you're saying. So in a way, it's like, okay, if there's a piece of paper to kind of, in a way, that sounds like you're kind of deterring him. But if he did want to break up with you,
which is fine, he can.
It's not. It doesn't seem like it. Because there's consequences.
What consequences are you talking about?
I think consequences, as in the sense of like, if we built shit together and the rest of it, like, but best believe, like, I put years into this relationship. I'm gonna get back what I put in.
But that's not you getting the bag.
You made it.
No, not necessarily the bag. Not necessarily the bag, but it could be other things that I've done or whatever. But for me, again, I'm saying this, I'm being so 100% honest and transparent. For me, getting married is more based on my insecurity. Like, before, when I was younger, I never wanted to get married because I saw my mum in a domestic violent relationship and she was married to that person. So I grew up not wanting to be married because I just felt like marriage is like a toxic, you're in this, you have to work through it and the rest of it.
Yeah.
But as I've grown up, because of my own experiences and people leaving me or people doing me wrong, I just looked at marriage as more of a security blanket. Not necessarily, like, if I don't get married, I think I will have like a problem with it. But for me, I want to get married because I'm insecure. Yeah. I'm just keeping it 100. No, it's the wrong reason, but of course I want to be with that person. But that's that.
But can we stop talking like insecurities? Can we stop talking like insecurities isn't a normal thing as well? It's just how we live with them. It's the behaviour you have.
I think you're right, Chris.
You see what I'm saying? We all have insecurities. I think you need to start. You need to stop thinking, okay, well, I can't tell anyone about these insecurities because I'm now going to be the negative person in the room. It's not that at all. It's your behaviour with them.
Yeah.
If you feel like something has triggered you, are you being toxic with that trigger, or are you trying to nurture yourself, or is your partner trying to nurture?
No, but that's again. It's like, but again, it's more like I'm a kind of girl, like even before I got into a partner, I'm a kind of person, I need constant reassurance and the rest of it, but that's because of past experiences. Does that make sense?
Do you feel that's why you and your partner now have got so deep in so quickly?
I think yes and no. Like before I was saying, we're gonna get into it. Like I never was interested in him. And you know, he was like, it's the people that you never realise. And he was one of them ones that I was such a bitch. I was horrible. Like let me not even get into it. I was just really bad. But the fact that I was that toxic and you still stayed and was still kind and respectful, that was
That could never be me still.
But for me, that's
what are you going to say?
Some men like a challenge. You don't want to be.
What are you going to say?
Some men like a challenge.
No, I was going to say, you want to get married, right?
Yeah, but I do actually want to get married for the right reasons as well. But
yeah,
I'm being like truthful. Yeah. One of it is an insecurity.
Yeah. So you want to get married, and eventually you will have that conversation with your partner. And say, yeah, I'd like to get married one day, right?
Yeah.
And if he loves you the way he says he does, or he will, would you expect him, because you want to get married, would you expect him to, you know, if it's not a big thing to him or whatever, would you expect him to, you know, pop the question?
100%.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Because my view is marriage is a commitment to someone. So that's how you show your commitment. But obviously me and Chris have different views. So I just want to
No, I agree. Like I do believe that marriage is a commitment. Again, that's where the insecurity thing comes from. Because it's like, if you marry me, I know you're committed to me, you're not just gonna leave. But again, it comes from an insecurity place. But yeah, I do want to get married.
Still don't understand. I feel like you can leave someone in a relationship, you can also leave in a marriage.
Yeah,
I think the only thing that makes it more difficult in a marriage.
But that's my point. You're gonna work for it. You're gonna work more for it.
I feel like the only thing that makes a marriage more difficult than a relationship is if you've got assets together. I feel like you can still leave a marriage.
But for me, with marriage, you're gonna be willing to work.
Yeah, I'm willing to work. I'm in a relationship.
If I'm just a boyfriend and girlfriend, you can just fuck off.
Bro,
I'm sorry, we need to work this shit out.
Let me just say one thing, bro. I'm in a relationship now, yeah, and we're working through. We have our issues that we're trying to sort out. I've got issues from my past relationship, trust, whatever. She's got the same. We're trying to work through it. The same way I'm working through it with her now is in a relationship. The same way I'll work through it in a marriage. I don't get if my marriage is not working and we're not getting anywhere, I'll leave. And if the relationship's not working and we're really working, it's not getting, I'll leave. Or she might leave, vice versa. I don't get what's the difference.
For me, marriage is more like there's more on this, like there's more on the line, so you're more willing to work for it.
Yeah.
Unless you have assets together, what's on the line?
I was gonna say, like, if it weren't for that union, there's a couple of times that man would just bounce, bro.
Yeah, man.
What's the difference?
Honestly,
but this is my point though, it's a lot more than just like a paper.
It solidifies it. There's like you first of all, there's so much. So everyone knows you're married, right?
Yeah.
There's that. You know, who am I gonna let down?
Yeah.
By not working at this. My parents, sisters are looking
at
me, friends, etc. Right? There's that element of it. If you've got, like you said, if you've got assets, kids and stuff like that, there's that element. So you're prepared to work almost doubly hard to make it work. Whereas if it's just boyfriend and girlfriend, no assets, no kids together,
you just good.
couple red flags and that. And you're just like, nah, you know what?
Forget this.
Like, I'm gonna try something else.
Please make it harder. Please make it harder.
Let's be honest, we could go round the houses with relationships for hours.
We could.
There's so many variables. There's so many things that change, all that kind of stuff. But
I think I agree with you. Let me let you finish.
No. What are you?
I think, was you going to wrap it up?
No,
going to wrap it up. I think we got the little vibe going. We're listening to each other, we can tell.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I just want to say, look, for relationships, just be best friends. 100%. Have fun. Live life airy. Holistically, if you can, if that's what you're into. Janelle, thank you
so much
for coming over to share our part 2 just in time. Please do subscribe.
Make sure you did that.
Tell a friend to tell a friend. Share it, like it, leave a comment. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know if you do want a part 3. And until next time, peace.
Peace out. Thank you.
Peace out. Yeah, man.